there, this is Erica Merrill, and I'm the founder of Perfect Legal Video, and I am very excited about today's topic. We are going to be talking about COVID-19 crimes with attorney Brian Jones out of Ohio. He has a criminal defense firm there. He's been in business for a very long time, and he is going to be telling us about some crimes that could be committed inadvertently. Welcome to the show, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Eric. It's good to see you again.
Great to see you. Speaking of underage drinking, since we are home more, there are occasions when an adult might give a child of maybe 14 or 15 a drink. Is that illegal?
Under Ohio law, it's legal for any parent to provide alcohol to their children and their children only. You cannot furnish alcohol to children who are not your own children, either biologically or under an appropriate legally recognized guardianship. Now, even if your children's friends' parents say it's okay to give my children alcohol, it is still not legal in Ohio to do that unless those underage people, I don't want to call them children because they could be 19 or 20, they have to be under the direct supervision of their parent. Now, the other issue here is if you give your child too much to drink, then you could expose yourself to a child endangering charge if you were to get your child too intoxicated. Or I guess I should say, even allow your child to get intoxicated.
Well, I mean, I guess I've always thought about parents that are surprised with their kids breaking into the liquor cabinet when they're on vacation or something. But, I haven't thought about kids getting too intoxicated under their parents' supervision. So that's really good to know. You really need to be able to gauge what's happening with your child and then, what actions, come from that because, a lot of times people are out of control and they're not themselves and you just never know. They could run off upset about something and drive into a tree and die. So, I mean, you would have some pretty serious charges, I imagine, if something like that happened.
You would have not only criminal liability, but you would have extensive civil liability as well. And I guess I should add this as well, Erica. The child endangering statute has a lot of gray area built into it. So there's a huge difference between allowing your 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old to have a glass of wine or a beer with dinner and giving, a shot of liquor to your 3, 4, or 5-year-old. It's that reasonableness standard that allows law enforcement and the courts to make judgment calls on what's appropriate. And obviously allowing any child to get so intoxicated that they needed medical attention would certainly result in a variety of criminal charges, including the child endangering, but possibly even charges like inducing panic. Because now, in this day and age, when we're under quarantine, you have taken away essential medical services from people who might need them.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a scary thing. And I don't know about you, I know you have kids, but I have personally said at least 100 times, there is no emergency room if you get hurt. Stop jumping on the couch, that kind of thing. Because you don't want to take the medical attention away from someone that needs it, especially during the pandemic. And you certainly really don't want to go to the hospitals right now because there are a lot of sick people there with something that is very contagious that people are dying from occasionally. So, definitely being careful with all of that is very important. So here's one of my favorite phenomenons to talk about, and that is Zoom. Now, Zoom has probably tripled or quadrupled in size, I'm not sure now, just in the last month. Incredible growth, all because of this pandemic. People are teaching school from Zoom, people are having business meetings from Zoom, and kids are doing lots of work from Zoom as well. Virtual play dates, everything. So can my child get in trouble for having paraphernalia that is visible and maybe they didn't even realize was there during a class over Zoom?
Erica, I don't think it would be very easy for a prosecutor to prove a case against an individual who had paraphernalia or drugs in the frame during a Zoom or Google Hangouts or a Facebook interview or class setting. I think it would be very difficult to tie that paraphernalia back to the individual just because they were in frame. Because of exactly what you said, Erica, there's no guarantee, and there certainly isn't proof beyond a reasonable doubt that they knew that item was there. However, I think that would absolutely be enough evidence to start an investigation. And if the police come knocking on your door in that situation, or children's services come knocking on your door in that situation, you should absolutely be saying, I'd like to talk to a lawyer before I answer any questions. Because at that point, once the police start questioning you or your child, they may get an admission as to who that belonged to, ownership being taken. Now the charges may issue.
Wow, that is that's pretty interesting. I mean, you really do have to be careful. Um, I mean, there's certainly lots of funny stories about things that are happening during Zoom meetings, and that would be an example of something that's not so funny.